The layers of starry shapes overlapped. There was a circular motion in smaller parts around and between them. Yet still, there was an overall four-sided concaveness to it all. The quietness, the completeness, the contentedness grew. And I felt movement upon me, all prickly, but pleasant. And finally, there was like this blue coat about me, thick, like an old winter coat. And I could feel its warmth over me, nice and soft. And there were moments where I could not see the features of the room. We can think of this sort of Pulp Fiction retelling of this story as a Kabbalistic journey in which you have the sun and the moon are the knees and the pelvis, and Mercury are the left hand, kind of starting you along the path, but you're kind of, you start as Earth and eventually you return to Earth, right? But then because of Mercury, you were able to surpass your Mars challenge, or the left elbow, and then the right elbow gives you the way to surpass your left shoulder challenge. And at the end, the guide or the help to the whole thing is Venus. We have the lesson of tactfully going through things for the sake of a future goal, and sometimes things must be endured, and it's still not your fault, but sometimes there's some level of control that can be used for later over the situation or your response to it. And we can say that the myth form that we have here was in a different astrological age. Just like what we call Zoroastrianism is most likely from a Tarian age rather than, Aries But so you cycle over, and so the vernal equinox would have been the bull and the eagle. And of course, there's that thing about sex magic, is that, or any other type of role-playing magic, is sometimes entities come in and take a particular part. That's why it's important to actually have consciousness of and control of what you're evoking and invoking and that sort of thing. I'm not saying that these beings don't have choice, but and by the trials, Anath. I'm not sure of the spellings because sometimes to use the Hebrew pronunciation rather than the Aramea, biblical Aramaic or Phoenician or Canaanite or whatever you're going to call it. The T and the TH would be switched, and the H and the CH. That's one aspect of the, a couple areas of the pronunciation that might vary a little bit. And so to give that colors, instead of Aquaries being, being blue, here we have green here, and yellow over here, red here, and blue up here with Scorpio. And the age of Leo is where a lot of the astrological stuff comes from, but that's not really the myth cycle that we're using here. And it's not just role-playing, there are particular symbols, particular substances that could be used or applied in the situation. And by role-play, I mean in any type of magic. It's not just, people have decided that they are the god or the goddess, of their own temple and all that other sort of stuff. We also have the idea here, the conflict inherent with polytheism is that part god, higher god, lower god competition.